All right, time now for a special holiday edition of Get Up and Gab.
That's right. Let's check in with the Get Up gang, Matt and Dawson at K-Bear 104.1.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
That's amazing.
We're just busy making the things.
Happy Thanksgiving to
This
you.
is
Don't do
great.
that, Dawson. Don't.
All right, well, let's get right to it since clearly you guys are ready and rolling, got some food already going. When you sit down at the table tonight, what's on the menu? What are you guys going for first?
First. That's one of the toughest things about Thanksgiving is that you want to put it all in your face first.
Yeah, there's nothing on the table you don't want in your face first.
So we need a bigger spoon. I actually have an idea, and I've never heard anyone do this before. They've done stuff like the turducken, where you get one bird inside a bird inside a bird.
Sure.
But I'm thinking like you get like a sausage casing, and you just put all of the ingredients in the sausage case. So you start off with like you push a little turkey down in there, and then you push some mashed potatoes, and then a little gravy.
Some green bean casserole,
some cranberries.
cranberries.
So you've got this little dog basically that is like Thanksgiving on a stick.
Yeah. A turkey dog.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving
dog.
That sounds like exactly how
awesome.
to take one of the great meals ever and just totally ruin it.
That's like, no thanks.
Ruin it?
What?
It's amazing. To dip it in the gravy?
Can your food not touch, Charlie? Is that what's going on?
I am one of those people that likes to eat my foods individually, although I will say on Thanksgiving, I do just gravy on everything. All of it
Stir
is
it
getting some
up.
gravy, and then we're getting
Yeah,
into the mix.
for
But I
sure.
am a food separatist.
So what do you go for first then, Charlie?
Usually it's probably going to be a little bit of mashed potatoes, some turkey, and stuffing in that order.
See, that was like three.
And so that's what I do. Those are the only three things I have to have for Thanksgiving. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, everything stays away, and do not put gravy in my food.
Oh no, I want gravy on everything.
There's nothing else you need for Thanksgiving?
Wow.
You know?
You know me so well. Pumpkin pie, maybe.
Oh,
I do
yes.
like that you guys look like you're
okay.
getting ready to do a little baking.
Yeah, Dawson,
Yeah.
is that flour all over your face? What were you cooking?
Probably.
Kind of
call
a
it
mess in
flour.
here.
Been making a lot of baked goods.
Smells good, though.
Well, I
Thank
have
you.
to-
Right?
Yes.
It's almost done.
Not you. It just smells good.
Thank you. It's almost done.
Yeah, well, I have to add, my family's from New Orleans, and so it's a tradition at every holiday. The first thing that we have is gumbo, and I'm tasked with
Ooh,
making that.
yeah.
Yummy.
Okay.
Wait. I'm making crescent rolls and stuffing when you could have been making gumbo and
See, what
bringing
had
it
happened
in.
was...
Yeah, see?
Next year.
Somebody's
Next
getting
year.
herself off the hook
Next
there.
year.
All right, we're going to move it right along here, guys. Black Friday shopping, it's been starting earlier and earlier for years. Are you guys going to brave crowds tonight?
No. It's something like I saw it's like 164 million Americans are going to shop this weekend, and I don't want to have any part of that. I don't like small numbers of people, so I don't see myself going on. I mean, I wish them lots of joy and happiness, but I don't want to be there to wish it to them in person.
There's just nothing out there that I need that bad.
No.
If I wanted something special, you can get it online now. I don't feel like you have to go out and brave the stores and sleep in a tent or, all that kind of stuff.
I want to say occasionally it can be fun to find like a particular item that's being released that's hard to find, and your store is going to have it at a certain day. I can see standing in line at one store one time for one item just because it's part of the whole, I don't know, it's part of the whole experience, I think.
Yeah, my lethargy is
hard no
strong.
for
I'm
me.
not trying to get out there and wait in line that long. I've heard of the internet, so I find other ways to get things.
Right.
The thing, I don't do Black Friday shopping, but I do like Small Business Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
Which is happening, yeah.
And so
Not small.
I will go out. There's a couple stores that I hit throughout the year because it's my favorite yarn shop. But I try and go over on Small Business Saturday just to kind of give them an extra little boost.
Yeah,
Yes.
keep it local.
That's cool.
I'll be in a food coma, so no shopping for me. Yeah.
Okay, guys, do you have a baffle for us?
Yeah, only 30% of people are going to take part in this beloved Thanksgiving tradition today. Only about 30% of people are going to take part in this Thanksgiving tradition.
I was almost going to go with the cranberry sauce
Something
thing.
with cranberry sauce.
I was, so I'm guessing either they're eschewing Yes, I used that word. Turkey or football?
I'm going to say it is.
So they're communists.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
In my brain, probably.
So you said turkey or football. You said cranberry sauce is a no. Only 30% of people are doing this.
Yep.
Ooh, I guess I'm going to say eating
Come on,
vegetables.
Eat vegetables. Only 30% of people are going to undo their pants because they had too
That
much.
seems like a low number.
Right?
I would have put that
But
number
only-
much, much higher.
That's why God invented stretchy pants. You know?
What,
Yeah.
what I can't figure is why you
Maternity
think
pants.
this is a Thanksgiving tradition.
This is all the time.
It's a Thanksgiving tradition
Not
for
a
me.
tradition. It's a
Oh,
tradition.
man, well,
Everyday
Yeah, it's
tradition
something
for
we do.
some.
that's why I'm wearing the stretch
Hey,
pants today.
we would also like to say that we are very thankful for you guys and that we get to hang out with you once a week. It's one of our favorite parts of the week all year long. So we would like to raise an exclusively eggnog with nothing else in it. We promise it's just eggnog. There's nothing else in it. Toast to you guys.
Back at you.
Oh, well, back at you guys. We are certainly thankful for you guys as well. It's a lot of fun on Thursdays.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And speaking of Thanksgiving, how are you going to dress your turkey? And I have to say today, you should be dressing that bird for rain and wind if you are in the Anchorage area. So let's talk about some of those winds. Currently, around the Anchorage area, as I said, they are starting to die down, but some places still noticeable. Areas around East Anchorage, 25 miles per hour. That's for the hillside coming out of the east. We're seeing Muldoon at about 20 miles per hour. Again, noticeable at those levels. Over here at the station, we're only at about 3 miles per hour, and it's still pretty windy out near the airport, gusting to 24 miles per hour. Around the Matanuska Valley today, if you don't have to get out, if you can stay inside, it's probably your best bet. We're looking at some rain in the Matanuska Valley, heavy snow in the Susitna Valley, and some gusts to about 45 miles per hour around Kenai, around Palmer and Wasilla onto the Kenai. Look for that rain to continue, temperatures in the upper 30s. Right now, it is 40 degrees out at the airport. We're seeing those winds now at 22 miles per hour. Still makes it feel like it's 30 degrees. Still kind of a mess out there. We're seeing that rain all the way through the day. I would say at least until 2 o'clock. Still chances of rain through the evening hours. So today we see the rain. Tomorrow we're looking at cloudy skies. Consistently though through the weekend, look for those temperatures to stay into the mid 30s. And we have a chance to see a rain-snow mix coming through on Sunday once again. We don't cool off until next Tuesday.
Wow, 42. That is just
42. Crazy warm
bizarre.
out there.
Yeah, it is. All right, thanks, Tracy. Well, stay with the Morning Edition after the break. We're going to come back with even more turkey talk, but so far we've been talking about Thanksgiving on Earth.
Which got us wondering, what is Thanksgiving like up in space? Stick around to find out.
You're watching the Channel 2 News Morning Edition.
Happy Thanksgiving. Before the gravy gets to flowing, we've got to break down all things Turkey Day related, from food to shopping to holiday hacks and more. We've got it all.
Small business Saturday, while today and tomorrow get the national attention. Saturday is set aside for local spending, what you need to know if you're spending in Alaska.
And a live look on the cold, on the rainy conditions. They're still here. The Morning Edition continues.
Welcome back to the show, Alaska. It is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
Yes, and if you're watching and joining us, we certainly appreciate it. Maybe you're up getting the turkey in the oven, or maybe some folks we know are in the dark because we had some wicked winds overnight.
Did. Crazy. I'll have to check, but I don't recall ever seeing a wind gust as high as we saw on the upper hillside.
I saw that. It was like
Yeah,
this.
you said something in the hurricane force areas.
Up to this, it would be in a category 3.
Wow.
So not even a
hurricane.
little one.
Not even a little one.
Wow.
This would be a big, now of course it was a gust, those are sustained winds, totally different things,
And
but
the big question is, are we going to see those major winds today?
they are dying down out there. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. We're going to start off, of course, with our Thanksgiving Day forecast, and well, it's going to be rainy, kind of a mess out there. Temperatures into the low 40s. That's where we're at right now. We're going to see those decreasing winds continuing. So out at the airport, 40 degrees, winds out of the southeast to about 22 miles per hour, makes it feel like it's 30 degrees. taking a look at some of these winds. These are current winds around the Anchorage area. In Muldoon, you're now up to 13 miles per hour. Out of the south-southwest here at the station, 6 miles per hour. Strongest winds still around the hillside at 25, and in Eagle River we're due about 9 miles per hour. But let's take a look at some of those gusts. We've been talking about them this morning. 112 miles per hour on the upper hillside. This occurred last night. Again, that would be considered in the Category 3 hurricane range if it were a sustained wind. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we can expect for many of the areas around the city. We've got 39, that was your gust out at the airport, 41 over at Lake Hood, 68 mile per hour gusts over at J. Barron, 77, that's another crazy strong wind gust around Potter Marsh. For the south central area today, we're seeing a lot of rain. A little bit of snow. That pink line is that rain-snow mix, but most areas, except for those higher elevations, are seeing rain. Susitna Valley, you're the outlier in South Central. You are seeing snow and large amounts of it. Some places could see up to 40 inches of snow with this system that's come through. Still a little bit breezy in the valleys as well. Areas around Palmer, you're seeing winds to 28 miles per hour. Things a little calmer down around Seward, but rain, pretty consistently around the region. Expect to see that rain, and this storm system stays around the south central area through today. We probably don't see a break in Anchorage until tomorrow, and the coastal areas, you're going to see more rain for tomorrow. Talk about the rest of the world in just a few minutes.
And as Tracy mentioned, those high winds overnight caused a lot of people to lose power.
That's right, even knocked off a roof on a business out in Eagle River.
The Morning Edition's Sammy Selena joins us live now with the latest on what it looks like outside now. Good morning, Sammy.
Yeah, Tracy, Tracy was right. The wind is pretty consistent. There hasn't been a break all this morning, and we're at the Diamond Center right now. The wind has picked up. There is rain, and it kind of makes me wonder what it's going to be like for our Black Friday shoppers tomorrow morning when they come here. But if you take a look at that flag up there, you can see that the wind is going pretty strong. We were just in Eagle River, and it was kind of knocking our news car around a little bit because it's so strong, and it is strong here at Diamond. And the wind was so strong that last night, unfortunately, it knocked out a bedroom window of mine, actually. So it shattered onto the roof. Pretty sad, actually. And then we had to go in and make an impromptu window for the night. We're hoping that we're going to get someone in on Friday. You can see the duct tape. You can see the cardboard as well. But there are a lot of other places in the valley that was damaged as well. Specifically in Eagle River, like you mentioned, there was at Matanuska Brewing Company, a roof caved in, and we were just there. We have some footage from that. But for right now, I'm going to take it back to you, Ariane and Charlie.
All right, we're also going to check in about those power outages that caused a lot of customers from last night's high winds to be without power. Now, these numbers, they are consistently changing, but as of last check, MEA saying about a total of 2,351 people still without power. That's mostly focused out in the Meadow Lakes and Houston area.
For Chugach Electric, that total is a little more than 445 people without power. Crews are out trying to restore the power. The best way to see if your power is being worked on is by going to your electric company's website. And for those of you that live in the valley, if your power doesn't come back on by dinner time, the Frontline Mission is having a community dinner at the Menards Sports Center. It's the 7th edition of the free dinner orientation, and the gathering starts at 10 a.m. They are expecting more than 1,600 Thanksgiving dinners to be served.
The actual eating, that's going to go on from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., so don't hesitate if you do in fact need a place to go.
And continuing with Thanksgiving meals, we head to King Tech High School,
where the entire school enjoyed a Thanksgiving meal a day early, all thanks to these students. Happy Thanksgiving! It's an annual tradition that's been going on for about 25 years. The day before Thanksgiving, the culinary department here prepares a feast for the entire school. We're talking more than 100 people, so we caught up with them in the kitchen as they were putting those finishing touches on each dish.
And get a load of the menu here: citrus brine turkey, cornbread stuffing, green bean casserole, Brussels sprouts with cheese sauce, whipped potatoes, and several pies, a feast that both staff and students are thankful for.
I'm very thankful for, actually coming to this school, because I actually went into high school knowing I wanted to be a chef, and this really put my foot in the door to, becoming what I, ultimately want to become.
I'm thankful for the opportunity to teach here and to have so many great students. These guys are great. They make my life real easy and keep things real entertaining.
They also donate leftovers to charities like the Covenant House.
But if you're no culinary creator and, well, maybe you need a little bit of extra help to avert a Turkey Day disaster.
Don't worry, the turkey line is at your service. And get this, you can even text if you don't want to call. Just text 1-239-CELEBRATE. That's celebrate with an 8 at the end. The text hotline is active through November, including today from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Entertaining experts will answer all of your entertaining questions like, my mother-in-law didn't bring the stuffing, so what can I use instead?
Or maybe it's something like, I don't know, Charlie ate all the cranberry sauce, so what are we going to do now?
It is possible that it could happen. It does seem that today, we all know what we're going to be going for on our plate first. Could be that cranberry sauce, but what are you planning to avoid?
Well, according to a new survey, 2/3 of Americans say they secretly actually dislike a classic Turkey Day dish, but they just eat it anyway because it's tradition. Now, the biggest offender here, canned cranberry sauce, actually garnering 29%.
And among them, almost half of them call that disgusting. Green bean casserole came in second on the list. The survey of 2,000 Americans was conducted online by the Harris Poll.
Well, 1 out of every 3 families in the U.S. serve some kind of salad on Thanksgiving, but this year there is a serious warning about serving romaine lettuce. An E. coli outbreak that's tied to romaine lettuce has spread to 19 states. It's so bad, the CDC is telling people to avoid serving it today. People are being advised to throw away any romaine lettuce and packaged mixes grown in Salinas, California. Investigators say the cause of the contamination is still unknown. The CDC says check those labels, but even if the package doesn't say where it was grown, you should throw it away just to be safe. They also say if you do have lettuce at your house and it is in your fridge, you should think about sanitizing everything you can where it sits as a precaution.
That's right. Today, Americans will cook about 46 million turkeys, but properly preparing it is key too. Home cooks often want to give their bird a wash or rinse in the sink before it hits the oven, and that might sound like a good idea, but you may be doing more harm than good. The truth is, rinsing won't make your poultry safer, and it doesn't remove salmonella.
The water becomes a vehicle to spread germs around your kitchen or to contaminate the sink, so make sure that you keep raw turkey separate from your fresh food, and the inside temperature, that should be 165 degrees.
Have no fear, holiday eating tips are here, and how about a couple ways that you can battle the bulge?
Yeah, the holidays are notorious for breaking even the most strict dieter and health food nuts, so the CDC actually has some tips for those treats. So holiday-proof your plan. When you can't control the food that's being served at an event, have a plan. Stick to your usual mealtime.
Outsmart the buffet, only use small plates and start by loading up with those vegetables.
Fit in your favorites. Think about the dishes that only come around once a year or have special meaning to you. Make room for those by skipping the items that you can have year-round.
And keep moving. Don't ditch your fitness routine. Keep active. It will not only help your waistline, but your mental health during the crazy rush of the holidays.
Thanksgiving, we're all celebrating. We just love to eat, right? All those wonderful foods. Just make sure that if you overeat, you might have to come see us later. Remember that even though you feel great today, tomorrow you might not feel so good if you overdo it.
Also get your sleep. There's a lot going on this time of year, so make sure you get your rest.
And this will give your metabolism and also your blood sugar time to just kind of reset.
I think the tryptophan will help with that. And if you're going to indulge in an adult beverage, be sure to do that responsibly. APD officers will be out this holiday. The department has officers assigned to a traffic detail for those not wearing seatbelts or driving under the influence.
And we actually talked with the medical director for Providence's ER department about what they see quite a bit during this time of year.
The big issue is people going to holiday parties and maybe drinking alcohol and then trying to drive home. And that's a huge, huge risk, and many of our many ED visits are associated with alcohol use. And so I think being extra cautious at the holidays as you're going to parties and things, taking an Uber, taking a Lyft rather than driving home is definitely the safe thing.
This is also the time of year for donations and giving, but the Better Business Bureau also warning against secret sister gift exchanges, saying that they're illegal pyramid schemes. So it starts with an email or social media invitation. People are being asked to buy and mail a modest gift to a stranger and then told they will get a certain number of gifts in return.
They're also encouraged to invite other people to the gift exchange, but the Better Business Bureau says the scam relies on recruiting people to keep it afloat. It says once people stop participating in the gift exchange, the gift supply stops as well, and that can leave hundreds of disappointed people without their promised gift.
Now, if you're planning to ship some Christmas gifts, the U.S. Postal Service wants you to know the deadline. So if you're mailing gifts to an Air or Army post office, a fleet post office, or even a diplomatic post office, that needs to go out by December 9th, December 14th for retail ground.
For greeting cards and packages under 16 ounces, December 20th, December 21st for Priority Mail, and December 23rd for Priority Mail Express. Still to come, turkey, family, and gravy, trending towards the top of the Thanksgiving weekend. But next up, maybe shopping. We have your big Black Friday store times, plus the businesses that are open today for an early jump on that spending spree.
Plus, do you want to keep some of your money local? Well, we're going to take a look at Shop Small Saturday when we return.
Jackie Purcell getting a little emotional there. That is such a great playing of that song. Welcome back, everybody. It is Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, Alaska Youth Orchestra there. Some very talented kids there.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. Everybody who's getting up, you know, people probably getting their meals ready, starting the turkey, because it takes a long while to cook those birds. But you know, it's a bit of a mess outside, guys. So we're going to take you back a couple weeks to a beautiful aurora shot sent to us by Justin Lusk. Beautiful shot there. We are seeing some lovely aurora when we get the clear skies, but that is not happening today for your Thanksgiving Day around the South Central area and in Anchorage. Well, expect to see rain and temperatures into the low 40s. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at across the state. You're actually seeing a little bit of sunshine or clear skies down in southwest areas around Bethel. You're going to see some sunshine for today. Clear skies down in southeast, at least the southern portion of the Panhandle. Ketchikan, most of the rest of Alaska under some cloudy skies, and we're dealing with some snow and rain around the South Central area in particular. We also want to point out some of these wind chills in northern Alaska. Utqiagvik, your wind chill is 1 above, Kotzebue at 9, and Bethel, while your ambient air temperature is 18, your wind chill is down to 8 above. This is where we're at across the state. We've got this area of low pressure. We've had that big system that moved through. Now this one is impacting South Central Alaska. It continues through the day, still seeing that snow into the interior, so we're under a number of warnings and advisories across the state. We'll continue to talk about those through the morning. So Fairbanks today, looking at some snow. McGrath, the snow comes in later today because you're going to see the influence of this same system that's hitting southwest and south central Alaska. Snow heavy at times around the Dillingham area and Cold Bay. You're going to see some rain showers. Kodiak, also some heavy rain for today. In the Anchorage area, we're going to see rain pretty much through the day. Chances of it diminishing a little bit by the afternoon and evening hours. We start to see slighter chances of the rain, but overall, it's rain today, temperatures into the low 40s. We're going to see clouds on our Friday. If you're getting out to do some Black Friday shopping, won't be too bad. Cloudy skies and temperatures into the mid-30s. We're going to see cloudy skies on Saturday as well, and a chance of rain and snow likely to come through on Sunday. Breaking out our hour by hour. Expecting that rain, as I said, through much of the day. Only about a 60% chance by 4 o'clock, but we're still seeing that rain at least through 2 o'clock. And, well, 40 degrees, winds out of the southeast at 22 miles per hour. That takes your wind chill down to 30 degrees. Quick look at our sun data. Don't expect to really see the sun today, but we have 6 hours, 18 minutes, 2 seconds. That is a loss of just under 4 minutes.
It is Thanksgiving, and while we're all thinking about food, or at least a good deal of us are thinking about food, a lot of us do have our eyes on those big-time Black Friday deals. The thing is, Black Friday has crept into parts of Thanksgiving Day itself, so let's take a quick look at what time some stores are opening. Did you forget something that you need for today? Well, Fred Meyer is going to be open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you want to start that Black Friday shopping, JCPenney opening at 2, Target and Best Buy both opening at 5 and Walmart opening at 6 p.m. Looking ahead to tomorrow, if you go ahead and look at it, Fred Meyer, the early start, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. JCPenney and Walmart both getting that 6 a.m. open time. Best Buy at 8 a.m. And how about something a little bit different? Lowe's and Home Depot both going to be opening at 6 a.m. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're all searching for that great deal, but also be respectful. We don't want Anchorage making one of those Black Friday montages where humanity and civility and dignity get trampled.
And as Charlie was giving that rundown on Thanksgiving Day shopping and Black Friday tomorrow, well, don't forget about Shop Small Saturday. This year, 62 local businesses are participating. We're talking some deep discounts, everything from buy one, get one free to a percentage off products. Now, the idea is to shop, spend, and of course, support local businesses. Now, typically, the focus has always been on downtown shops, but this year, it's actually spread to all of Anchorage.
The local businesses that are participating in Shop Small provide a discount for folks to come out. So not only do you get to support local businesses, but you also get a little extra love for your pocketbook.
If you participate and you buy local, you can bring your receipt to the Shop Small booth. That's going to be at the holiday tree lighting for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets with Alaska Airlines.
And also looking ahead to this weekend, head downtown Saturday for the tree lighting ceremony. Now that video, of course, is from last year's tree lighting ceremony, but the excitement is going to be just the same. However, the weather may look a little bit different this year. Enjoy special appearances and performances by several groups around town. Santa and his reindeer will also be on hand to light the tree.
This is the Anchorage Downtown Partnership's way of kicking off the holiday season. So once your food has settled and you've done your small business Saturday shopping, head to Town Square Park. That will begin at 5 p.m.
And still ahead, we can't stop thinking about what's going to be on our plates later.
But we might not have to wait too much longer. A sweet aroma has actually started to fill the air.
Tracy shows up another sample as easy recipe. This time we get to try it.
Sweet sounds, a sweet surprise at that for folks here in our studio from the Alaska Youth Orchestra.
A nice little twist on caroling. Instead, it's the string symphony.
Yeah, that was lovely and really kind of gets you into the holiday spirit. I know people are often, how soon can you start playing Christmas carols? And
I think that one works. I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm all about whenever it makes you happy.
Yeah.
If you need the Christmas carols in the middle of the summer, that's what you should do. I'm totally about it. Just whatever makes you good. Let's take a look at what's going on because we've got some stormy weather across our state. We're starting down with this area of low pressure. This is that one that's yesterday we started off with a little bit of snow here in Anchorage. It very quickly turned to rain, dealing with those high winds as well. But snow into the Susitna Valley, that is going to push into the interior. So this system lingers through today. Coastal areas of South Central, you're going to see it stick around through tomorrow as well. Over the next couple of days behind that one, though, we've got another system that's going to slide into southwest Alaska and push another mixture of rain and snow. This one is going to swing pretty distinctly into southeast as well. You can expect to see some snow. This is what we're looking at. We are still dealing with winter weather advisories for southwest, much of the interior under winter storm warnings, and here in South Central, we're also dealing with winter weather advisories and also that high wind warning. Our radar shows you what it looks like this morning. Heavy rain around Prince William Sound, Cordova, Valdez, you're seeing that come through. That snow into the Susitna Valley, and as I said, some areas could see up to 40 inches of snow. This is a picture from the 511 site very recently of the highway, at the Parks Highway at mile 98 right near Talkeetna, so we're seeing some heavy amounts of snow coming through. Let's take a look quickly at some precipitation totals in the last 24 hours. Over an inch of rain around Kenai and Seward, over an inch as well. That Talkeetna, that is not snow total, that is actually water melted down from the snow. So just kind of be aware, we're seeing heavy snow that continues through today.
And Tracy joins us here now with another idea for Thanksgiving dinner.
That's
Well,
right.
yes, I tried to think of ways that you could do things very simply. Earlier we improved on box stuffing. Now we took those crescent rolls, which I already love, and we made them just a little more decadent. One of my favorite parts of Thanksgiving are the rolls. I never have crescent rolls except for Thanksgiving. We're going to make them a little more decadent. There we go. The basic recipe is we're going to take even more butter and then a few spices, something without salt in it. This is a garlic and herb, but you could also just use straight garlic powder, I think. Combine them together, spread it out, and then roll them up like normal. Make them extra buttery and spicy. I'm really excited to try this. They look a little mangled, but I think they're going to taste okay. Oh, yes. They look lovely. Well, now it's time to taste it. They look and smell really good. They're a little hot. I think we've improved on perfection. They are really good and very simple to make.
You know when you see somebody on TV cooking or eating, you kind of like eat with them. You're like,
Yeah. I'm ready for some food now.
Yeah, they were very lovely and very easy to do. So something that
I think
just
I can
kind of
handle
change
that
it up a little bit.
I love that. All right, thank you, Tracy, for that. We'll have those stories online too, so if you want to go click and watch, and then while you're guests.
Copycat.
Who did this? Good, Tracy. All right. Still ahead, we continue our week-long series on the lingering impacts of the big quake from last year.
Many still on edge. We check in on the mental state of those who were hit the hardest. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It is Thanksgiving. We are being joined by our wonderful meteorological maven, Tracy
Not
Sinclair.
only busy in the kitchen coming up with recipes, but you were very busy in the weather center because we kind of had a crazy overnight with wind. We got some power outages, some damage to some buildings, just howling, a little kind of, ooh.
Yeah, as I was driving
spooky.
to work this morning, I'm like, there's a garbage can tipped over and another one, and all through my neighborhood.
Same.
So I was hoping, I put mine out when I left at 2 in the morning, so I'm hoping
it stayed.
that it's still standing. And
It wasn't trash day for anyone, having to have their trash cans.
Oh no, it was.
That's what you're talking about. Those big trash cans. Wow.
Yeah, they were all sitting at the end of the road, tipped over. Luckily, they didn't go anywhere. But if they're strong enough to tip it over,
that's
yikes.
a strong
Heavy wind.
Yikes. Let's go ahead and take a look at a great photo. I'm trying to show you some happy photos this morning to lighten your day. Isn't this a fabulous photo? This was taken over at Kincaid Park. This lynx actually chased Alan's dog, so that's not a good thing, but really a beautiful photo of that lynx. Let's take a look at some of those winds around the Anchorage area. 25 miles per hour along the hillside. We're at 7 miles per hour over in East Anchorage here at the station, about 8. And then in the Eagle River area, 11. We had some very high wind gusts over last night. We saw wind gusts to about 77 miles per hour around Potter Marsh. Now across the state, a little bit of clear sky down to the southwest. Bethel, you're at 18 degrees, but your wind chill at 8 above. Southeast also seeing some cloudy skies overall. You had some sunshine yesterday. The clouds have moved in. Except Ketchikan, you're getting a little bit of sunshine as well. And then areas around Fairbanks, you're looking at mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. Snow this hour in Dead Horse. Right now in the south central area, pretty consistently we're seeing rain and snow in the region. Snow for those areas in Talkeetna. Homer, you're getting a few minutes to dry out. You're not actually seeing any rain officially right now. Here in Anchorage, 40 degrees, and yes, we are seeing that rain. Across the city, temperatures into the upper 30s around Campbell Creek Science Center. That's kind of one of the cooler spots, 37 at J-Bear. Temperatures really into the low 40s in many locations. Hillside, you are a cool spot at 33 degrees. So for Anchorage today, the rain sticks around at least until about 2 o'clock. Then we still have a chance of rain, but those chances start decreasing. And check out our temperatures. We stay into the upper 30s to about 40 degrees throughout the day. It's wet. It's kind of slushy out there. Most of the snow is gone. Once again, we'll keep you updated in just a few minutes.
A year after the big quake, Alaskans are still dealing with the emotional impact of that day.
Channel 2's Mike Ross has this morning's special report on the November 30th earthquake and how Alaskans are healing 1 year later.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we're having a huge, gigantic earthquake in Alaska right now.
Some people froze.
Some people ran as the walls around them shook.
Scary, my adrenaline was pumping.
I was terrified because I thought that the house was going to collapse on me. So I just started sprinting.
The November 30th earthquake did much more than break apart roads and crack house foundations. It fractured our sense of security.
It was definitely scary, not knowing what to do.
Tony Skilja and his wife Jennifer.
The only thought in my head was to get to Sophia and Tony and just get downstairs if you can.
Are the young couple in this home security video grabbing their daughter Sophia and escaping their home barefoot in the snow.
Right when I got out the door and I was with Tony and Sophia, I was just crying.
We were sitting here doing the arts and crafts show for Providence Mental Health Clinic.
That's where Judy Levine was when it hit, hanging on inside Providence Hospital.
We were just kind of standing here because at that time we were watching the glass panels shake. We were watching the windows up above shake. We could see the walls shake.
And everything in the hospital atrium was rattling.
It got to a point where I was praying because it got scary because this whole platform was just going sideways.
After the quake, Judy reached out on Facebook to others having trouble dealing with the fear.
I kept seeing a lot of women that just seemed to be distraught and very shook up.
And she organized a meetup with them at an East Anchorage coffee shop because of the view of the mountains.
We met, we talked. One of them was real shook up. She lived here her whole life. We got to talking about, hey, listen, where's your hope? Where's your faith?
But dealing with the fear was tough. A state health department survey done a month after the quake showed 78% had anxiety, fear, trouble sleeping, or panic attacks after the quake. 59% said their children experienced increased anxiety or distress.
But what about now? It's been a year. How are you feeling? Have the memories of that day faded, or are you still feeling the emotional aftershocks?
So here at Bridges, we had an increase in calls right after the earthquake happened.
But counselors here say there's been a lot of healing during the past year.
People are pretty much okay. Yeah, most of us have gone on with our lives. Thankfully, there wasn't a lot of aftermath. That may have been different if we'd experienced more of a collapse of our infrastructure.
So this whole middle piece used to be out of glass, and all these shelves were out of glass too. So when the earthquake happened, they kind of slid forward, and all the decorations that were on top, including the glass shelving, fell right here to the ground.
For the Skiljas, there's still some very shaky nerves.
So I've been pretty anxious about just another earthquake hitting. I've definitely been waking up in the middle of the night sometimes, just if I hear anything.
The quake brought them even closer together as a couple, and having a more detailed family plan helps.
But at the same time, it just can happen anytime, and it could be worse. I guess that's the biggest fear, is that if it's worse, then what?
A question that comes with living in Alaska.
We love this place. We love Alaska. We stay here for a reason, but we know that we have to put up with the ground shaking.
And our nerves being rattled as well. I'm Mike Ross, Channel 2 News.
The state health department has not done any follow-up surveys since the quake a year ago.
And the counselor that Mike spoke with said the most important things that you can do are to talk to someone if you are still having fear about the quake and come up with a family plan to be ready for the next big one. And seeing that story, seeing those house cameras, and you just remember it, you go back to it. It was scary, but
I wasn't here for it. I saw everybody's post, and it was something everybody was paying attention to all over the country.
Yeah, but Alaskans are resilient, and we know that one for that. So.
All right, now speaking of things shaking, not earthquake level, but the wind's doing a great deal of shaking as well. And so we're going to go check in with Sammy Salinas. She's live outside, and she can tell us what's going on.
Yeah, speaking of being resilient, that's kind of what I have to be right now, because right now we're using the news van as cover, but step outside of the news van and it's kind of just even hard to walk. You're definitely being pushed by the wind. Let me tell you, I'm not a very big person, so I'm gonna try to stay low to the ground. But we're at Bear Valley in Hillside, and sleet is coming down fast. It's coming down hard. I mean, I really have to plant my feet on the ground. There's a lot of slush in this area too. I mean, walk around, it's snow, it's water, it's slush, and oh my gosh, wow, this wind really is picking up right now. We're gonna talk a little bit more about what we've seen overnight as the storm continues. But on the hillside, as of right now, the storm is definitely strong. Oh my gosh, I'll take it back to Ariane, back to Charlie.
Yeah, and Sammy is very petite and tiny, so that wind is almost whipping her. You can imagine what it's doing for those folks in homes up on the hillside. So, all right, well, stay with us. Much more coming your way right after the break.
Good morning. We're getting blown around the Anchorage area today. Even here at the station, our camera, Skycam 2, is shaking just a little bit as those winds hit it. And you can see, even just from this angle, you can see how wet those roads are out there. So it is wet, it is messy. If you can stay in, please try to. It's just kind of a mess out there. Around the Anchorage area, despite what we just saw with Sammy, we are seeing those winds start to die down. It's really one of these things that's going to be isolated depending on where you're at. So you could look at this and say, oh, our winds are a lot stronger than that. It just depends on where our sensors are right now around the hillside, 21 miles per hour. The south-southeast around Huffman at 13 miles per hour. J-Bear, you're seeing winds to 14 miles per hour. Speaking of those wet roads, this is what it looks like from the Eagle River Bridge this hour. So you can still see a little bit of snow and slush on those roads. Be cautious if you are getting out and about. And for today here in Anchorage, we're going to see the rain stick around, a high of 42. That's actually already occurred. So we see temperatures cool off through the day, but not by much, and the rain sticks around.
As Tracy has mentioned, wicked weather to start your Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, strong gusts are howling, and as she said, depending on where you live, it might be stronger than other areas.
The Morning Edition Sammy Selena joins us live from the hillside where the wind is whipping about. Sammy, how are you holding up?
Yeah, here at Bear Valley Elementary on the hillside, the wind is definitely strong. We were just at the Diamond Mall not too long ago. It wasn't too bad, but here, wow. I mean, it could knock you off your feet if you're not careful. There's sleet coming down really fast, very heavy, and there is a lot of slush on the ground because we have a mix of snow and of rain here. And coming up, actually, we were kind of tossed around in our news van when we were coming back from Eagle River. Actually, my photographer, who's been here a really long time, said that he's never felt winds push him on the Glen like that, which just goes to show that depending on where you are, these winds can be very strong. So if you're going anywhere for Thanksgiving, make sure you're very careful because these conditions are pretty severe and they can affect your driving pattern. Ariane, Charlie?
And we hope Sammy's staying safe up there.
Yes, thanks, Sammy. All right, and as people do prepare for today's festivities, electricity, certainly crucial weather. It's a power mixer, whether you need the oven. We've got some stories and outages numbers coming up right after the break. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Checking in now on some power outages that were caused from last night's high winds. And these numbers, they are constantly changing. We've been updating them throughout our newscast, but as of last check, right before coming back, MEA says a total of 635 people are without power. That number has gone down. That is mostly focused out in the Meadow Lakes and Houston area.
Meanwhile, for Chugach Electric, the total is a little more than 445 people without power. Crews are out trying to restore the power. The best way to see if your power is being worked on is by going to your electric company's website.
And we're going to check in on weather with meteorologist Tracy Sinclair. Winds, it's kind of the name of the game, and some rain that's coming down pretty heavy. We've seen Sammy Selena out there, but it depends on where you're at, Tracy. Isn't that right?
It really does. This is the system that's giving us those problems. It is pushing all of that rain into the southern portion of the state and snow into the Matanuska and Susitna valleys, particularly the Susitna Valley. So once this system continues to move to the north, it will kind of slide out of the way for Anchorage and the valleys tomorrow, but we still see the impacts around the coast into Friday. And then we've got a second system that Saturday night into Sunday is going to be sliding along the Aleutian Islands, Alaska Peninsula, and then heading into the south central and southeast area. So that's the next system that we have to watch. Overall, the state is still dealing with winter weather advisories down to the southwest. We're under a winter weather advisory here in the south central area down on the Kenai Peninsula. We still have that high wind warning in Anchorage at least until 10 o'clock this morning, and then we're under a winter storm warning until at least midnight for the Susitna Valley because of that heavy snow. Some of those current winds around the Anchorage area, 24 miles per hour over in the hillside area. area. Calm down a little bit around Muldoon, only to about 6, but still pretty breezy in Jay-Bear. You're looking at winds to 14 miles per hour. Talking about some of those wind gusts, we hit 77 miles per hour around Potter Marsh. This is, of course, one of the highest wind gusts we've ever had, 112 miles per hour. That was around the upper hillside. Overall, we saw very strong wind gusts over at Jay-Bear, 68 miles per hour. You definitely feel those winds when they come in that strong. This is what we're looking at this morning around South Central, still seeing that rain in Anchorage and into the valleys, down to the Kenai Peninsula. Heavy rain around Prince William Sound. Expect that through the day for you in the Cordova area. So looking at how much rain we've received, Seward over an inch of rain, over an inch of quarter around Kenai. This is just in the last 24 hours. Iliamnas hit 1.79 inches of rain. And into the Talkeetna area, this is not rain. This is the equivalent of the water that's in the snow that you've been receiving. As I said, some places could see up to 40 inches of snow. You can see just in our forecast, all of that snow is going right into the Susitna Valley. It is bypassing the Anchorage area. Overall, we're expecting to see just continued rain coming through our region. So skies still messy out there. If you have to get out and travel, please take it slow.
And right now we're going to check back in with Channel 2's Sammy Salina, who is literally braving those crazy winds.
She's actually up on the hillside right now. Sammy, how's it going out there?
Yeah, I am at Bear Valley Elementary, and right now we're using the building as kind of a barrier between us and the elements, but you step outside and right away you're hit with sleet, you're hit with a lot of wind, rain, and then on top of that you have to be careful where you're walking because there's a lot of slush on the ground. So you have to be very careful if you're coming out into these conditions, and it just depends on where you are. We head up to Eagle River actually this morning, and my photographer said that the wind blew the car on the Glen Highway more so than he's ever seen. So check out the damage that unfortunately Matanuska Brewing Company in Eagle River had. Their roof actually that collapsed yesterday. They posted on their Facebook page at about 9 p.m. They said that part of their roof fell on their parking lot, and they did not have any injuries, luckily. So everyone's okay, but it's just an example as to how strong this storm can be. And right now, wow, I mean, you could just see, it's hard for me to even look at the camera right now. My photographer had a little trip there. So really, honestly, what we want you to take from this is just to be careful on those roads as you're heading to family members and Thanksgiving. There are parts here in the Anchorage Bowl that can definitely be dangerous. It can be slippery, and the wind can really push you around, push you and your vehicle around. So be careful for Thanksgiving. Ariane, Charlie, I'll take it back to you.
Wow, yeah, Channel 2 Sammy Salina, photojournalist Mike Niederbrock braving the elements, and we've had Tracy here looking at the numbers and showing you kind of what it looks like on these satellite images, and then Tracy seeing Sammy out there in those elements and just hearing that wind.
It howling right by that microphone.
It is crazy, and as we've been discussing, it really depends on where you're at. In some parts of town, it's really not going to feel too bad. You get in other areas, and that wind is still blowing. We do expect that to start to die down this morning. We're going to take a quick look. It is Thanksgiving, so let's show you how you should dress your turkey for the day. And unfortunately, you need to dress it for rain and wind, because that is what we're seeing across most of South Central. Those current wind speeds around Anchorage, Merrill Field at 10 miles per hour. This is what we're talking about. Some parts of town quite calm. Over at Earthquake Park, 9 miles per hour, but out at the airport reporting 22 miles per hour. These are not very far apart. We have a lot of microclimates, and winds can really be funneled in certain areas of town. Across the Matanuska and Susitna valleys today, you're looking at rain. Some places seeing some snow in the Matanuska Valley. Overall, that snow is being lingered into the Susitna Valley. Expect to see some very heavy snow totals. This will be storm totals when I talk about those isolated areas of 40 inches. Overall, we're looking at 18 to 32 inches of snow with the storm that's moving through. On the Kenai, also seeing mostly rain coming through. Higher elevations will be a little bit of snow. Right now, out at the airport, 40 degrees, winds coming out of the south-southeast to those 22 miles per hour. So it feels like it's 30, and for the day, not much change. We do see the winds die down just a little bit. We're seeing some mostly rain showers all the way through the area. at least until about 2 o'clock, and then those chances of rain start to break up just a little bit. We're looking at some temperatures today into the low 40s, tomorrow mid-30s, mid-30s for Saturday as well. Likely to see a little bit of rain and snow coming through. We will be in December by the time that hits, and temperatures into the mid-30s. Overall, we're looking at cloudy skies by the beginning of next week. We don't start to cool off until next Tuesday, so it is a messy day out there. If you can stay inside and you don't have to go out, this is really the day. Because it's Thanksgiving, thankfully we don't have a lot of people on the roads. That's good news. It would be, if you can just stay inside, cook your turkey, watch your football game. I think this is really the day.
Just stick inside if you can.
And be careful if you do have to get out, if you're going to family or friends, to be careful on those roads. And before we go here, we want to say, of course, a big thank you to all of our Channel 2 viewers, and from our family to yours, wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving.
We leave you this morning with more sweet sounds from the Alaska Youth Orchestras.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.